play around Blood Moon. Lots of layers in this matchup, so this will be a treat. Cain leads on fetch into original Ravnica Blood Crypt.
Right,
I'm
so
sure
he's
you're a fan.
already ahead.
I'm sure you're a fan.
Only been together a short time here, Ed, but you know me too well.
If I'm gonna make a blind guess, I'm gonna guess OG for Mr. Zack.
That's right.
All right, firing off a Faithless Looting.
Take a look at dreamy Snook over here on the right with that wind-blown hair, the newlywed hair.
He's still got the afterglow of his wedding radiating, so we wish all the luck in the world to.
There he is. There's the man. He has no idea how photogenic he is. Look at those sideburns.
All right.
Well,
we did that.
Looting discards.
Kappa prides in the chat for everybody.
I can't even say it. Let's just
moving on.
Let's just look at him again.
Snook has fetched for basics. Well, Snook's basic game always on point.
Yes. When you've been playing 20 years, there is no excuse to have Ixalan lands.
How many JSS promos does he have to have lying around? Like, let's be honest here.
All the volcanic hammers.
White border Blood Moons, though?
Yeah, you know.
Like, so, I play white bordered because that is a card that should tilt you off the face of the earth. And if my theory on hate cards, and let's not pretend, Blood Moon is a hate card. It should be the grungiest, most disgusting, stained, white-bordered example of a hate card that you could possibly get. If you're playing Shatterstorm, I want you to play 5th edition, white-bordered, foreign language, stained HP, practically damaged, and I want you to slam it into play. If we're playing hate cards, play hatefully.
I love it, man. I love it. I now live my life this way. So here we go. Cain turn 1 Faithless Looting. Snook turn 1 Inquisition. Now Cain Inquisitions the Pyromancer. So what do we have left after all of this?
So did Snook Inquisition and we have... Or did he Inquisition the Faithless Looting, so Cain is now reduced to 2 Faithless Looting?
Exactly.
Reducing the amount of filtering that we can do here.
That didn't work.
Not quite.
So now each player with 2 lands. Blood Moon.
An incredible amount of discard spells already in the yard for both players.
The Blood Moon in Snook's hand will hurt Cain.
Definitely.
Might need to take it at this point, right? Because what does taking Lingering Souls do? What does taking Lightning Bolt do in this matchup?
It's true.
You just have to take the Blood Moon, unfortunately, because if he resolves it, you're left with a really expensive mountain and a basic mountain.
Yep.
But no, he takes the Bolt.
It's... Blood Moon is... I actually don't think it's a great card in the matchup. Cain is defending himself with a fetch.
Mm-hmm.
And the deck... These decks pretty much can mostly run off of red. As long as you have one other source of black, there's very... you can't cast Lingering Souls in the main deck, but otherwise you're just straight red-black in the main, and then you have additional sideboard cards for your white splash. So you have to be more careful about it in the sideboarded games, but maybe Blood Moon in Game 1 is not exactly the biggest speed bump.
Right, and while Cain casts his own Blood Moon, he draws the Marsh Flats, which lets him get the Swamp, and now he says, wait a minute, all of a sudden, my Blood Moon's good.
He's entirely forgoing the white. You're probably looking to pitch Lingering Souls into your graveyard off of your Faithless Lootings anyway, and go ahead and just get to beat.
Snook.
Oh, Snook stuck on land.
Yeah, he drew a third Lingering Souls in the
a thing.
meantime.
So Cain's scouting out Snook's hand, seeing the amount of Lingering Souls that were in Snook's hand and that he had to have white for, and now getting royally punished with Cain's own Blood Moon.
Yeah, this is pretty painful. Cain doing exactly what he wants to do, discarding his useless Terminates, now drawing.
And Pro Black Knight chimes in with gross white bordered Blood Moons. That's exactly how I want to see it. Grungy, disgusting. Chronicles.
I hope it's been played unsleeved on the kitchen table 100 times.
God, please. I want to be able to take that card out of the sleeves and see all the scratches in it.
Ugh, man.
Hateful cards are hateful.
Look at this brutality.
And this is
All
where
modes.
we see that the white isn't all that important. And Snook is literally willing to double escalate all of his Lingering Souls into the yard just to be able to duress, drain, and even just neg two that Bedlam Reveler.
Yeah, so both players want these Lingering Souls in the graveyard at this point.
Just to assemble a defense, go wide. They don't have Electrickery or Anger of the Gods in the main, We're usually a matchup where I would expect a lot of material to go wide across the board, but maybe atypical since Snook is not coming up with the lands just yet.
Yeah, this is definitely an uneven match. At this point, Snook had a one-turn window to draw the land and punish with Blood Moon, but he didn't. No. Now he is getting punished.
Yep.
Okay, there's a land. Finally, Snook draws a third land about 12 turns into this game.
Where is Snook at?
He's in Milford, Mass.
Yeah. Where's he at mentally? Thinking about, well, okay, we are already deploying the desperate fences. He is unhappy about putting Sean McLaren and Mike Sigrist into play. Just sort of flopping them out of play and being like, yeah, these are going to block these Bedlam Reveler and going to be unhappy. Whereas Cain is literally hopping out of his seat. He's motoring.
Faceless Looting being proven to be one of the best cards in Modern here, and the best card in the deck. Without it, this deck could not function.
No. Where did this... I've only seen this deck recently within the past, I want to say, 4 or 5 months. I know that people have been working on Bedlam Reveler for forever, but
right.
It doesn't seem like there are any new cards that are necessarily... There are no Ixalan motivations. Did somebody finally just come across this?
From what I understand, as the Young Pyro and Lingering Souls tokens come into play, what I understand, one person on Magic Online played this deck for an entire year and developed it and tuned it and tweaked it for an entire year. I couldn't tell you who it was, but it was the result of one person.
The Craig Jones after everybody's heart.
Yeah, exactly, right? And so after he actually made it into a winning deck, started showing up in 5-0 lists, people started picking it up, giving credence.
I know Michael DeCoste. I know Snook's whole crew. The Devin Callahans, the Adam Snooks have been definitely playing this deck online, and just if we aren't burying the hatchet already in this game one, what do you think of their choices in respective token selections?
They're okay, I don't love the Pokemon cards, but then again, I'm a grumpy old man, so Cain's a spry young kid. Kids love their Pokemon.
I grew up in the Pokemon generation. I still can't advocate for them, so that may be I might be grumpy old man at this point myself, but
you're getting there, man.
Hey,
you're getting there.
Hey, hair's coming off the top, y'all.
Snook's fighting though, isn't he?
I like the accurate tokens myself. He is fighting, but like we were talking about in terms of this matchup usually goes wide and there's a lot of material going across the table. I reference you to Cain's side of the table. Say that's how it should be working.
I'll tell you what I used to like in terms of the spirit tokens back when Lingering Souls was in Standard. I played a Lingering Souls deck,
nice.
and the Faithless Looting, the Freets deck.
Yes.
I use the Kamigawa era spirit tokens, which
Gotcha.
don't say flying on them.
Yes.
Back then, that was legal to do. Now, I'm not sure if that's still legal
That's
to do.
probably still fine. They're the colorless token for Forbidden Orchard?
Exactly. Forbidden Orchard, Hinton, there are a bunch of them.
Gotcha.
So it felt weird back then. I don't think it ever actually tricked anybody. It was kind of cool to do.
And they're colorless, so it's a little bit weird.
You're kind of misrepresenting the game state.
It says spirit.
It does, but
says spirit.
I wouldn't use it now. I did back then.
I'll say that the Tom Martell spirit tokens are pretty nifty.
Yeah, those are nice.
Those are nice.
So here we go. Spirit token trades with Pyromancer.
Entirely willing to chuck that Pyromancer away. He's putting the pedal to the metal, and it looks like Snook has a bunch of Inquisitions for his trouble. Snook's going. Can I just pick up my cards? Just show me what you
milking
have.
it. He's milking the screen time
there
here.
we go.
That's a
That'll do.
scooperoni.
That'll do. So, well,
The winner,
definite-
Cain Rianhard.
the mirror goes to whoever's land flows, as most mirrors do. But okay, we don't have to go over both sideboards because it's the same sideboard. 3 surgical extractions, 2 molten rains, 2 Nihil spell bombs, 2 wear tears, 2 collective brutalities, 1 anger of the gods, 1 Liliana of the Veil, 1 ghost quarter, and 1 fulminator mage for both players.
Oh, look at you with the efficiency.
Feels like land destruction is at a premium. We're both Blood Moon decks, but Blood Moon feels like it can be sideboarded in this matchup as the Blood Moons sift to the top in Snook's point of view. So I would make an estimation that those are probably gonna flow out of his deck, the 2 Blood Moons for Molten Rains.
Well, let's see. You see it at the front already here from Snook. You might be right.
Yeah, and discard spells.
And wow, Pro Black Knight in the chat. I didn't even know this token existed. I've been playing for a long time. That is a really cool token.
That's a good one. Good taste, sir.
Yes.
Well done, Pro Black Knight.
Here we go. Both players sideboarding. What else do we like in the mirror here? I actually do like the Anger of the Gods. Just
Yes.
because if one player runs away and draws 3 Lingering Souls, which is the best card.
You're going for a long game, and if you're behind, and this deck is meant to play well from behind, right? This deck is constructed to just grind and not mind if it's behind. So if you are behind, you have Anger of the Gods. And it's something that if you're ahead, you can just easily pitch to a Faithless Looting anyway. So feels like an easy inclusion. So Molten Rains, Nihil Spellbombs.
Molten Rain on the play I like. Molten Rain on the draw,
Sure.
not sure about.
Sure.
Nihil Spellbombs, though, are bomb.
Yes. The bomb.
The bomb.
Collective Brutalities.
Sure. It's a maybe for me.
It's a maybe for you. I feel like it takes out Young Pyromancer and just allows you to. It takes out. If we're dressing and killing a Young Pyromancer, I don't care.
Oh, that's a great card if that's what it does.
Right.
If all it does is duress,
Right.
that's a pretty inefficient
Pretty
magic card.
inefficient magic card.
I wish they had more Planeswalkers. They each have 1 extra
They
Lily.
have 1 additional Lily, and they're both playing 1 in the main.
I bet they wish they had 2 extra Lilies and a last hope.
I bet you they wish they were playing New Lily.
Yeah.
That would be
For sure.
nuts in this matchup. What seems weak? Their discard spells in Blood Moon, and do they even have enough cards to bring in?
I think you have to leave some discard spells, right? Like you leave Thoughtseize because it hits Bedlam Reveler.
It's Bedlam Reveler.
You can trim some, maybe 2 Inquisitions. Fatal Push is a maybe. You have to leave some number of cards to deal with Young Pyromancer, but you can't overload on Young Pyromancer answers. They only have 4, and you might discard them with your spells.
Yeah, that's true. Right.
So this is a really hard sideboard.
Definitely not one that I'm going to pretend to know here.
No, the cards for sure that we'll see: Nihil Spellbomb, Liliana. Cards I expect to see: Anger of the Gods, Molten Rain on the play.
Sure.
This will be a battle of the graveyards a little bit.
Fulminator Mage in terms of being able to bring it back with Kolaghan's command and
Ooh, that's pretty spicy.
and start to just churn through, and the fact that it can just bring back young Pyromancers anyway, along with what it's doing. Recursion seems important, which is why Nile Spellbomb seems like even more of a blowout.
Kane's like, why are you shuffling so long, man? You know you're just going to fetch turn 1. What are you doing? Like, you're going to have to do all this again.
That's probably what Snook is laughing about anyway.
Here we go. Cain will take a turn shuffling Adam's deck, and we are about to be into the game here.
Now let's not have all the shuffling go on for them both to multi-6. Come on now. Oh, immediate.
Snooky baby, what are you doing?
Never lucky. Never lucky.
This does kind of feel like a Junmir, doesn't it, right? It's like you have all these 1-for-1s, all these discard spells.
You choose to go wide, you choose to have 1/1 tokens. This may be, I may be not understanding or giving enough credence to the grindiness of the deck, but it feels like Sorin Solemn Visitor would be really good here.
I think any Planeswalker in a board control mirror
Sure.
would be great. Right. That one would be especially good, though, wouldn't it?
I would be greedy enough to include one, but I'm probably too greedy to appreciate Mardu Pyromancer and to play it correctly. So we'll let them grind and see how this ends up.
I want to see like a Tybalt. Got him.
Got him, coach. What's Tybalt's ultimate again?
Who knows? I don't think anyone's ever done a Tybalt ultimate. If you have in chat, let us know. I definitely have never even cast a Tybalt. I'm certainly jumping that around.
I know a player who has well over 3 pages of the Sorin vs. Tybalt Define Blooded.
God, what are you doing with your life?
Just for the pure jank of it.
Let's see. I'm going to look it up just for you, Ed.
Thank you so much. All right.
The Fiend Blooded.
The Fiend Blooded. Gain control of it's insurrection.
Right. All creatures untap them. They have haste.
It seems like a bomb in this mirror. If we could insurrection our opponent,
I guess, man. I guess.
See, this is where Edgar indulges in his greed, and Zack shakes his head.
All right, let me send Gerry a Facebook message and be like, "Yo, dude, why didn't you include a Tybalt?" Let's see what he
Edgar
says.
Hinton says it sounds great.
That's a good way to get blocked by somebody. Tell them they should play Tybalt in their Pro Tour deck.
I like the Jeff Hoogland school of going ahead and looking at things of, if you're going to present an argument for a card, tell us why. Use your words.
Use your words, friend. Snook's hand is just terrible here.
And Snook fires off that Lingering Souls as quickly as he possibly can, with Nile Spellbomb waiting on the other side of the table.
Snook is all reaction here. He has 2 bolts, he has a term, he has a land. This is the kind of hand that desperately needs to draw a Planeswalker, or desperately needs to draw a Bedlam.
To push the agenda. So much so that I definitely expect a Faithless Looting to be flashback the next turn for Adam.
Yeah.
Just to keep digging.
Trade a Lightning Bolt for a real card.
Sure.
2 lands out of the way for Cain.
Right.
Is he able to find a play?
Now, what is Cain waiting on? It feels like he's definitely slowed down, and there goes that Faithless Looting.
Well, he's up 2 cards, right? He didn't maul, and he's on the draw.
Right.
So, like, he maybe will have a natural inclination to play slower.
Right. Snook needing to put the pedal to the metal, and what does he pick up here? Young Pyromancer.
Yeah, Pyromancer, Bedlam Reveler. So he is filling his hand with threats. This is ideal.
And terminate.
Land drop.
Turn 2 damage.
Cain goes into 15 here. Adam definitely the beatdown in this matchup.
Cain being patient. Probably having the higher quality of cards
Right.
in his hands.
He doesn't have to worry about Bedlam Reveler yet either, because I mean, look at Snook's graveyard. He has 1 instant or sorcery.
Right.
Reveler costs 7 right now.
I wasn't going to shift. I was going to say either Nights Million or TJ Fridays. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Do we have a broken sleeve, Cain? What's up?
I'm still thinking about that fetch.
Ooh, okay. That was about the last possible minute Cain could have. He's been traveling for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think so, Dan.
Certainly something that has to be thought about.
Alright, so there's the pop.
Okay, so he's popping.
There's the draw. Adam probably breathes a sigh of relief, to be honest. He
Yeah.
wants that card off the board.
Yeah, I'm actually somewhat surprised that I was praising Cain for the patience and not using it, and waiting for him to fill the yard even more. And Snook still has a decent amount of cards in hand that he's probably going to want to fill the graveyard with. All right.
Wow. This is exactly what Adam wants, right? He's like, yes, Cain, do whatever you want. Just do not add to the board.
Right.
Give me the chance to deploy my Pyro.
And just to get a couple of tokens out of it. Looks like Cain has multiple Pyromancers. He looks like he's definitely trying to build towards one turn where he can just spit 3 spells. But Snook may get some use out of those bolts yet and just go upstairs.
Right? Oh,
Finish the game quickly. If he's down a card, putting the pedal to the metal, and Cain's trying to play too much of a value game, he could punish him. But we will see.
Yeah, well, I'm going to power up Gisela twice. Hold on. Gisela is a 9/7. So yeah, don't get Gisela. Hold on. So wait, no, she's 7/7. I power her up twice because I attack the next. I'll go around the base circle. So Chris will be next. Don't worry. Wait, hold on. So it's 5. Oh, I power her up twice. No, she should have.
Probably because I am currently.
You need to stop.
Yeah. Okay, so we have someone stepping in. This is Stammy the Judge.
Looks like there is a dispute over what's going on with this flashback faceless looting. Looks like we may have missed the details. I may go to get the details after what goes on happens here.
Let me read that.
Yeah, looks like
So there-
Sam gonna get on their level,
Yeah.
explain what's going on. Something happened with the faithless looting, and I really don't know. It sure looked legit to me.
I'll evacuate the table right now and let Zack carry you along, and I'll try to get the story from Sam after this ruling or discussion is finished. So I'll be right back.
So these players are playing for top 8 here.
My son Soulfire Grandmaster and Series Meditation.
No matter. Okay.
Wherever you gain life, you may pay 2 deals 2 years. That would have been so killer with Gisela and No, I attacked.
Possible that we failed to draw a card off Nihil Spellbomb, maybe?
Hold on. Nothing now. It's. Yeah, I know. Not bad. Now it's just Joe's turn.
Okay, so a card was not drawn off Nihil Spellbomb, it looks like. Very strange. Very strange problem. Not something that usually happens, and a weird fix too, because
I'm not so sure about that.
it seems as though the same number of cards were drawn regardless.
I'm playing my brother's bachelor prize match. I think we're going.
That's an odd one right there.
His groomsmen has a summer house. Or maybe we'll go to Nordic Village
And a weird fix, but I definitely trust Sam Hammond's judging ability and his rulings. Very seasoned judge. And here we go to Adam's turn.
Oh, it'll hate so hard grip match will be cheaper. Let me see, hold on.
Cain at 13. And lost in all that, Adam didn't end up activating his fetch land. He said he was gonna, but lost in all that. He didn't. Let's hope that doesn't, the 1 or 3 damage doesn't cost him the match here. He has to take 3 instead of
Hold on, hold your horses.
the 1 he was gonna take. That's unfortunate for him. Oh, lost by the wayside. Here comes the souls. 2 more spirits. So 4 power has Adam Snook. He has all the creatures and all the burn, but Cain has all the cards. So if Cain can stabilize, if he has the 1 Anger of the Gods here, if he can play a Lingering Souls of his own and trade, he's in okay shape. If all he has is like a Bedlam Reveler, or like 2 direct damage spells on the tokens, he's not in that good a shape. Cain takes at least 1 here, just 1.
Oh, chaos!
And like I was saying, everybody, the winner of this match will, unless tiebreakers change tremendously, make the top 8. Even though they're 3-2, this tournament was pretty small and was just over the cut for the right number of players, so the winner should make top 8.
So,
Yeah.
interesting.
Let us know what just happened. I think I know, but you tell me yours.
It looks like Snook actually played an additional land
Oh.
on one of his turns.
Oh God, not what I thought at all.
And what happened is they both, Cain drew for his Nile Spellbomb. He drew cards off of his flashback Faithless League, and then Cain went, wait, these land counts don't match up here.
4-2 or something, yeah.
4-2. So Sam was actually able to facilitate a rewind on the board. Stepping them back, I think you saw on the table, stepping them back through the steps that they took, pretty much getting things back to parity in terms of the lands that were played and getting them back to a normal set of circumstances. Wow. But definitely a couple of warnings handed out to both players for not keeping the board state in a tidy set.
Playing an extra land on turn 3 it's Adam, not Alex.
Yes. But it's also on Cain to realize that, right. And it happens very late into the process. And what did we say? Snook putting the pedal to the metal, being down a card, and flying in the face of any Anger of the Gods that Cain may be playing.
Wow.
Just looking to end the game quickly with a, God, get my kingdom for a Sorin Solemn Visitor. Like, could we just Glittering Wish into Sorin Solemn Visitor right now?
You would try and put Glittering Wish into the stack, wouldn't you?
I would.
You get your 4th Kolagon in the board. That's perfect. Perfect. A Manamorphose if you need it.
Look at all these multicolored cards on the board. Let's just play Glittering Wish. Come on. It'll be good.
So Snook jumps ahead, Pyro into Flashback Souls, 3 tokens. Cain has to escalate this.
Cain has to escalate, and he knows that, they could probably assume that they're very close to each other's lists, and that there's, other than Anger of the Gods, there's not a good way to deal with going wide. And so Snook just spat out a gigantic amount of tokens before Cain was able to deal with this young Pyromancer and has the advantage because of it. We'll see if he's able to push across the last points of damage. So it looks like that white Sean McLaren token on the right of Snook's board is a spirit, and then the rest are young Pyromancer ground tokens.
Exactly. So Kolagon's command from Snook hits the bin. Still left with a lightning bolt, so 5 power in the air and 3 damage in the hand. But that doesn't really matter, right? Because there's no one card that gets rid of all these spirits.
Right. Cain is just digging to Anger of the Gods as quickly as he possibly can.
Yeah, of which there's only one.
These Pokemon tokens, are they spirits or are they elementals from Young Pyromancer?
These are elementals.
They are elementals.
Yeah, they are. So Adam untaps. Definitely a huge favorite here.
5 elemental tokens and a spirit. What are we doing here? What are we doing? And we still have bolts.
Yeah, still have 1 bolt in hand. Now, interestingly enough, if Adam saved his bolt, if he didn't bolt the Pyromancer last turn, which it seemed like he did automatically, like he didn't even think about not using it, Cain would be dead here.
Didn't want to let Cain have any opportunity to try and approach parity on the board, which I could definitely get behind.
Yeah, I understand it. In retrospect, Cain would be dead, but hey, you can't play Magic in retrospect. So 1 swing away, Cain must draw some way to deal with multiple spirits all at once. He has to deal with 3 spirits right now.
Right.
Has to be Anger.
Alright, Joe, it's your turn.
Or just multiple reversals. I see a bolt. I see a Thoughtseize is definitely not what we're looking for here. We're willing to forget about our life totals in this matchup a lot of the time, but now is not that time.
Yeah, when one person draws 2 Lingering Souls, the other person draws 0.
Hey. Go to war, young son. Push.
So here we go. They all come in. Adam's like, wait, why didn't I trade last turn? Doesn't matter, though, Adam. You're going to win this game.
Yeah.
Unless you Lightning Bolt the Bedlam Reveler, you're going to win.
Don't jinx it. Snook's a sound player, but don't put a spell on him.
He's loose sometimes, but that would be extra. Oh, I thought that was a bolt. Jesus. Alright, there's the bolt. Snook will take some irrelevant damage. Snook's like, yeah, I still have a Lightning Bolt, right? I just win?
These individual elementals definitely do not have a lot of value, but
this is an incremental deck, isn't it?
It definitely is.
And icing. Scoop him up. Scoop. All right, so a game 3 then of this Mardu Mirror.
With the match having a 5-minute time extension because it got a little
That's
messy
right.
there.
That's right.
It got a little messy.
Go ahead and fix that. The light. Yeah.
Give it a try.
Like not now, but like.
All right, forgive our radio silence there for a minute. Just fielding a question.
Conferring with our tournament organizer, Thomas Shea, looking to improve the quality of our stream as much as we possibly can.
That's right.
To bring you good content over here at TJ Collectibles.
Yeah, if you are just joining us, that's where we're here. We're here at TJ Collectibles in Milford, Massachusetts. This tournament is a part of the Titanium series, a tournament series that culminates with an invite-only finals, which is later on this month. So players have been playing in these events the past year. The winners and second places of some of the events get the invitation, get a one-round bye sometimes, and are going to be playing in a 32-person, $5,000 tournament, invite-only. And not just people. People including you, Edward Hinton.
Somehow, it happens.
Hey,
folks, if you're ever intimidated by tournament magic, remember that Edgar Hinton won a competitive REL tournament, and
Wow.
that's
Come on.
that is a massive blight upon competitive magic as a
Oh,
whole.
you're pulling out the big gun. You're pulling out the SAT words to describe yourself.
Just a disgrace,
No.
an absolute.
You're making me feel bad.
travesty.
I'm not even you.
Competitive magic is a blast. You should definitely know how your cards work and how your opponent's cards work, and learn how infractions work.
You should definitely not play extra lands on turn 3.
You should play tight and enjoy playing tight and watch that your opponent's playing tight. And if you're into that competitive aspect of it, we are here every Friday night at 7 p.m. for Modern F&M. We had 30 players last night. Come on down. And I really do think that the metagame that we have down here in the basement on those Friday nights is really competitive, but really fun. And we would love to have you come on down and then, tighten and hone those skills to have you ready to be able to come to one of these TJ's events, these titanium events, get you some money. Because
That's right. I didn't even mention that. These are all cash tournaments. These are not like for booster boxes. These are not for like the extra product that the TO still has in storage, like some stores that I won't name.
win Tom Shea's money.
There we go.
So, we're off to the races. Cain leads on turn 1. Faceless Looting, pitching Lingering Souls. I don't think we could possibly ask for anything more.
Inquisition.
Attack, Inquisition. Both of these decks are just going to try to run each other out of resources as much as is humanly possible. But this is an interesting decision. So, Snook at that magical 3-land count, but terminate Liliana, Collective Brutality, and the Anger of the Gods. I think it tells a lot for both players what Cain takes here.
Right.
Oh my good God, I need another die. I am at 71 life. Hold on. I unfortunately do not have enough mana to pay for stream meditation, which really sucks. So, alright, I'm going to roll this and see what happens.
So that is the correct amount of time that these players have left.
Right.
Hopefully they'll be able to finish the match in time, because a draw helps neither of them.
No.
As Cain takes the Liliana of the Last Hope, that sexy lady, to the bin.
Fetches on the round. Cain having the material right off the bat. In his graveyard, and I don't think I see a Nile Spellbomb in either player's hand, so
No Nihils, no graveyard hate.
man, dude. We want to play some Rakdos Charms.
Ah, that one's a little narrow. I can get behind Golgari Charm, I can.
Yes.
Rakdos Charm, though, I don't know. Snook says go.
What number of charms have you played in Modern?
God, what a question. I sleeved up a deck and played like an Esper deck with 4 Esper Charm in it. That's a good card.
In instant speed Mind Rots?
Yeah, oh yeah. I played that card in Alara block. Love that card.
Well, I have sleeved up Gruul Charm.
What's that one even do at like +3/+3s?
It's allows you to regain control of a permanent you own.
Oh, that's not useful at all. Okay.
It falters all ground guys.
Okay.
And it does 3 damage to flyers.
Okay.
So if we're playing Zoo, and we got a bunch of Lingering Souls tokens in the way, we're going to town. Or we're just finishing them off when they're blocking with Tarmogoyfs. So Bushwhacker
okay.
Zoo is like a fan.
Okay. 2 mana though, Gorkling Rampager.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Civic Charm.
Oh no. No.
Celestia Charm.
I'm changing your name right now to the
John
Mad
Charm.
Professor. John Charm.
I am telling you, I am the literal garbage trunk.
Oh. That's so savage. All right, so here we got a collective.
yes,
What's
we
this
have-
collective brutality doing? discarding.
Terminate. Okay, so Cain is not worried about this anger of the gods. So neither player is leaning on a young Pyromancer at the moment, it looks like, or leaning on Lingering Souls tokens. They're just waiting it out. And that might be the awkward part of this matchup. And Snook escalating his own collective brutality.
Making me work really hard on these life totals here.
Definitely.
If I just knew that was going to happen, I wouldn't even have to
Flushing
change
them
them.
around. Yeah.
So there we go. Kolaghan's discarded. So each player accelerating towards their Bedlam Reveler plan. Snook needs more help. Cain, I think, is there.
Yes, definitely. And Cain drew that third land.
Nice. That what a great draw, huh? That's the perfect one.
That'll do.
So yeah, he has the requisite number of instant sorceries in the graveyard. The question is, does he want to cast Lingering Souls first?
He might. Especially with Snook. Knowing that Snook is just on an Anger of the Gods and not much else. Oh, well, he does go for it.
Like, what if Snook drew a Thoughtseize, right?
Sure. Play with the advantages that we know that we have instead of betting that the top of the deck won't help Snook. Sure.
For me, this game has been a tale of faithless looting.
Yes.
Cain drew faithless
And
looting.
Cain's graveyard is telling the story of this
Right.
third game so far. And deploying those spirit tokens, testing the limits of when Snook is going to finally break and cast that Anger of the Gods, right? Seeing how much material Cain has to put on the board for Snook to blow that Anger of the Gods.
Cain firmly in the driver's seat, but hey, look at this. That's a Souls. It's something.
But it seems like Snook is definitely playing from behind and he's willing to just put up defense for right now.
Yep, this one drawn Lingering Souls from Snook
Right.
takes care of the 2 flashback Lingering Souls from Cain. So 1 Lingering Souls can trade with 2, and Snook is getting close to Bedlam Reveler. Kolaghan's Command, a great draw from Snook. Collective Brutality, a playable draw.
Putting another draw through in your hand seems nice, you know?
Yeah.
Gilded Lotus. I badly need that mana. Can't cast anything else in my hand just yet. But instead,
I don't know if you're hearing the commotion to the side, but James Jones, local legends, excitable. So if you're hearing loud exclamations in the background, please excuse it.
I have no choice but to do everything, Joe.
So here we go. We got a little blockage going on
Yes.
from Snook. He draws Fatal Push. Any spell is okay, right? Because it goes towards Bedlam Reveler.
It goes towards Bedlam Reveler, and I don't even think you mind spending it on a spirit just to motor and get your Bedlam Revelers yourself, right? Like,
Right.
You're willing to just be greedy with the casting of it.
Oh, come on!
It's definitely not like a Jeskai control list where you can bide back your time and you build up to one turn where you're expending 4 spells. It's aggressive back and forth, trading control of the board.
Alright, what about my token?
Unless you're looking for those young Pyromancer turns where you just get to put 4 bodies into play for 4 mana.
Right. So that's pretty good, right? And this ensures for Snook that he survives a lot longer. Like, Snook could have played riskier and tried to fill his graveyard to deploy a Reveler, but instead he takes the more conservative line.
At this point, is the Anger of the Gods still in Snook's hand?
God, I guess it is, isn't it?
Doesn't this look like the situation where it's time to maybe take the damage, swing back, and just anger?
Finally pull the trigger, yeah. And if he draws like a lightning bolt, it's amazing because he gets to kill the Reveler.
Exactly, and exile it so Cain can't
Right.
Kolaghan's command his own. and pull ahead on that axis.
So Snook, we might just see. Yep. So
Sure.
trades off
The
here.
life total can't be that great.
What did Snook draw? Felt like it might have been a black card. It might have been another fatal push.
Sure.
Nope, surgical. Oh, he put it in surgical extraction. Not the great draw here.
Not what we're looking for.
So I have to wonder if he can get up to Bedlam Reveler mana. He might need to pay 2 life and cast Fatal Push
Just to do it.
just to do it. We'll see here.
Cain, Adam always in a state of agony over his decisions. Seems like a push on the young Pyromancer, and maybe this anger to gods is not paying off.
Right, so part of this puzzle for Adam was figuring out why Cain passed with 2 mana up and a Souls in the graveyard. So he leads on push. He's like, well, if it's a spell, I'll find out.
Surgically lingering.
Draw step, of course.
Okay.
There is only 1 left. Adam gonna see how his opponent boarded, but he doesn't have much time to do it. He has less than 5 minutes here. Oh, 2 left. Okay.
2 left.
And me.
Okay. So Adam is counting. Reveler will be online here.
How much?
Liliana. 2 mana.
Hold on a second.
Bedlam Reveler. Ouch.
What'd you get?
Snook needs a damnation. He usually puts 1 damnation into all his decks, but not today.
Maybe punished for worshipping the altar of Gerry Thompson today. But let's see.
What has Gerry done anyway?
Hey man, nothing for Snook recently.
I guess.
But leading him into this grueling mirror.
Yeah.
That's what.
Adam's hand is gone.
There is no room in heaven.
Trades off. So now, because of the trade-off, I'm not even sure that Bedlam Reveler is now. If he didn't trade off, Bedlam
And
Reveler
it's
would
already
have fodder.
gone. It's already gone to the Liliana, so he is out of gas with the material disadvantage. There it goes.
Wait, no, you'll notice.
Well, we know one of our top 8 competitors.
That's right, Cain Rianhard. Unless tiebreakers change, right?
Unless-
Tiebreakers might change.
Weirder things have happened.
Yes, but he should be in the top 8. Adam Snook definitely will not be in the top 8.
Yes. Unfortunately, one of our most qualified competitors, and certainly not one who makes loose mistakes. But
that was round 6, everybody, and we are so close to a top 8. We are going to take a quick break, figure out our bracket, figure out what match we're going to cover, and all that good stuff. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes, maybe 7. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
absolutely, I'll be in the chat, so feel free to ask any questions in the meantime, and talk to you soon.
And